Hello, I'm Frederick, and I got 100% in my design and technology coursework. What surprises most people is that I didn't even finish my manufacturing. At the start, I honestly felt helpless. My design did not look amazing compared to others. It was quite boring, in fact. I was struggling to keep up with deadlines, and I didn't feel like the DT student, quote unquote, people expect to get 100% or a top score. Having a DT coursework isn't about being flawless, it's about showing initiative, solving problems, and clearly just documenting your process so the examiner or the teacher can follow and agree with it. So just a quick disclaimer, I won't be showing my actual project in this video because if someone copies it, it could get me in trouble and it could get you disqualified. So if you want inspiration, just Google CIE example coursework for design and technology and you'll find plenty of examples to match your style, but don't copy them, of course. So for some context, my main passion is to study medicine, and I really enjoy DT and engineering, but I'm not an expert in it, that I can't even draw well. So if I can get 100%, you probably can too. Also, if you're looking for some free academic support, check out edufirst.co.uk. It's a tutoring platform I founded with my friends, where volunteers help students who can't afford tuition, and you could book a session there for free. So my first important tip is to listen to your teacher's instructions. They will actually be the ones marking your coursework. A lot of people don't realize it until they submit it, and they think that external examiners mark it, but they don't. It's your teachers who mark the coursework and send it off for review, and their interpretation of the mark scheme really do matter. Many people in my school really ignored some small instructions, not big ones, like making proper flow charts for the processes for manufacturing, and they were penalized for it. So even if something seems minor or boring, if your teacher says to do it, just do it. At GCSE, teacher comments sometimes feel useless, but for coursework, they could really boost your marks and could really be something that really helps you. And nevertheless, it helps you to build a relationship with the teacher as well, which really helps you in terms of seeking out advice or just having help in the later parts. And additionally, why not just be a nice person? And second tip, just don't be too ambitious in the design phase. The more complicated your design is, the more chances there are for something to go wrong. My Coursework was basically just a storage box with some smaller compartments inside. I've seen people try to make very complex shapes with multiple hinges, and it usually ends quite badly. I know someone who got 99%. Their project was probably 20 times more impressive than mine, but they lost 1%, one single percent, because one hinge didn't close perfectly. You don't want to risk that. Simple designs is basically king of DT. And if you're not sure, probably just make a storage unit. It never really goes wrong. So my fourth tip is to have a clear theme. So mine was Bauhaus. It was a German design movement with some distinct colors, shape, and minimalism. Even if it doesn't really directly contribute to your grade, it can help your work feel more connected. And don't stress if it is inconsistent because coursework is often marked in sections for different people. So just having a narrative, even though if it is disconnected, it would make the person marking your manufacturing perhaps more engaged in your work. So yeah, the other point is to not rush your manufacturing when you're doing it. I didn't really finish one part, so I really just smashed it with a hammer, scratched it, and presented it as a failed prototype. In reality, I didn't really have time to 3D print it fully, so I made up a story that I tested it for strength and decided that I would damage it intentionally to show that it has very low durability, which to be fair is true. And sometimes you can frame a failure as something intentional and put a positive spin to it. And my fifth tip is to not panic if your product turns out badly when you manufacture it. It's really only a small part of the total grade. So research, modeling, and development can be worth double the marks of manufacturing. That's what really pushes your grade up. That being said, it is still quite important as in that people always get it wrong by not documenting the process. The examiners really just look at your final product as one of the marking scheme points, which is like what, like 2%. The other percentages or marks come from you documenting, photographing, and presenting the process of the actual manufacturing to the examiner. And if you couldn't do it, that would be 0 marks automatically, which is not good. And uh, I would also share some of my experiences using 2D design. I hate it. I could not use it well. My lines never closed properly. and it's fine to use other methods. For example, I use SolidWorks to create a 2D template and then transfer it to 2D design. I actually use SolidWorks for like everything that I could, and it still is perfect. So I would also advise adding a reflection slide at the end, cover what went well, what went wrong, what you do differently. It really shows that self-evaluation, which examiners really like, and also helps identify gaps you could have filled. And my seventh tip is to just do it. If your school has no slide limits, just add more slides. My school suggested around like 70 to 80 slides, but I submitted 154. There's really no harm including more content if it still flows and you didn't just babble about nothing. Examiners really just skim, so more pages usually means more opportunities for them to spot good points. As long as you're not repeating, then it's pointless. And I'm sure you heard a lot, but pick something you really care about. You'll be working on it for 2 years. It's basically a mini university project. So just do it to your own interest. If you like football, make a football stand. If you like gaming, make an Xbox controller storage unit. If you like anime, I think someone in my school made an anime stand and it turned out really well. He scored like 90 something, I believe. So it's still really good if you just do whatever you like. It would put a lot of stress down as well. So, in conclusion, just plan your work, keep your design realistic, just document everything, reflect honestly, and take photos, take photos, and take photos. Don't wait till the end because without photos you don't have proof, and without proof you don't get marks. And so that's how I went from being hopeless, hoping for a grade 6 in DT, to getting 100% in my coursework, which could carry me to potentially getting a grade 9, even though my drawing wasn't that good at all.